Welcome to Canvas Assignments and Assessments. In this portion, we will be discussing discussions. Discussions are a great option for providing a space where students can interact with each other as well as the instructor in a forum-type setting. You can use discussions for course logistical questions, introductions with one another at the beginning of the course, water cooler forums that allow for a more personal or intimate place for students to interact, and student interactions and engagement on specific assignments. It's important here to make sure that you're not using discussions as filler assignments for meaningless points. Additionally, make sure that when you're building out your discussion prompts, that you give more structure and guidance for your expectations, such as having students apply what they've learned in class to an experience. Making it relevant to them in a personal or professional level allows for more engagement and better responses. This is the Canvas Discussions Index page. This index page shows all discussions created by the instructor. Within this index page, discussions can be categorized into 3 sections: pin discussions, regular discussions, and those that are closed for comment. Pin discussions allow instructors to pin a discussion to the top pane where it can live for ease of reference. The second pane is a general discussion pane where all created discussions appear in order of recent activity. The third and final pane allows for instructors to close discussions for comment. Discussions in this pane are still visible to students, but new comments cannot be made. Instructors can drag and drop discussions into the various category panes. Additionally, you can use the options icon or the kebab to the right to access more options, such as close for comments, pin, duplicate, send to, copy to, share to commons, and delete. Similar to subscribing to discussions in Blackboard, instructors and students can select the bookmark icon seen to the right of the discussion title to subscribe to a discussion. This will push notifications of new comments made to the user. You can also use the Student View option to check out how a discussion will appear to students. In order for you to check the settings, you will need to publish the discussion. If you are not ready for all students to participate in a discussion, remember to unpublish it after ending Student View. Now that we know a little bit about the Discussions Index page, let's actually create a discussion. So scrolling up to the top of the page, we're going to select the dark blue button in the upper right corner that says Add Discussion. From here, we can indicate a topic title. I'm going to use Sample Discussion 2. And this is where you obviously will name your discussion. It should be relevant to what you're asking your students. In the rich content editor below, you can input your discussion prompt. This allows you full use of the rich content editor, so you can use this to embed content directly into the text field along with your textual prompt. Things like YouTube videos, images, GIFs, and more. For the sake of example, I'm just going to put sample prompt here. Scrolling down, you have the option to post to. The default will always be to all sections. If you're teaching multiple sections of the same course, meaning multiple CRNs, but only want your discussion to be posted to the first one, you would select it here. You can also add an attachment file if you choose by selecting Choose File, selecting a file, and then selecting Open. Additional options are below. Allow threaded replies is a useful option for building interactive conversations between students as well as yourself. By selecting this option, you are allowing students to carry on a longer conversation through threaded replies with one another, similar to what we see on social media. The second option, users must post before seeing replies, is a useful option for ensuring your students actually do some critical thinking before posting to the discussion. We've all had those students that echo off one another in some form of the same response. Enabling this option requires each student to post first before they can see anything posted by their classmates. The third option is Enable Podcast Feed. Discussions in Canvas are equipped with a built-in podcasting system. A podcast feed must first be enabled by the instructor. Podcasts are uploaded using the Record Upload Media button within the Rich Content Editor and can be accessed through the discussion as well as the podcast feed. It is important to note here that ITS has disabled the Record and Upload Media button, so this option is disabled for the time being. The fourth option, Graded, allows for the discussion to be a graded discussion. Selecting this option allows the instructor to assign a point value to the discussion forum, choose how to display the grade within the grade center, whether through percentage, complete or incomplete, points, a letter grade, or GPA scale. You can assign the discussion to assignment groups if you use weights. You can allow for peer review. You can then also choose to assign the discussion to everyone in the course as a default or select certain students if you have them working in groups. And provide adaptive release options for the discussion forum by marking available from and until dates. You can also allow liking. This option allows for students and instructors to go through and like forums and replies similar to the way we may like something on social media. Selecting this option will allow the instructor to further designate if they only want graders or just the instructor to see the likes, and to sort the postings by number of likes they have received. The final option here is to add to student to do. Selecting this option allows the instructor to prescribe a date by which the discussion should be completed and will then appear in the student's to-do pane. A note here, if grading is enabled, this option is unavailable, as anything with a due date will automatically appear in the student's to-do pane. Once you have designated all of your options, you can go ahead and select Save. Your other option is to select Save and Publish if you are ready to make the discussion visible within the course. Thank you for watching. For more information, please visit clt.odu.edu.